Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Everything is Bad New Fangled Motion Picture Show.
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to another episode of the New Fangled Motion Picture Show. I am one host, Niall.
And I'm the other host, Nolan.
And today we're going to be reviewing a movie we've been looking forward to seeing for a while. That is Terminator Dark Fate. So we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review. And because there's one little thing to spoil in this movie? It was pretty obvious from the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, you called it 15 minutes into the movie, I think. Right?
But
pretty
I
early
don't remember. I don't remember what you're talking about specifically.
Oh.
It
was about the future.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
You get it now?
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, but yeah, so we'll do a spoiler for review, then give you a spoiler warning, and then maybe go a little more in depth into the movie after that. I don't know how in depth you can go into on the spoilers on a Terminator movie, but if it's possible, we'll do it. So yeah, this was a solid Terminator movie.
Yep, I enjoyed it quite a bit, much more than I've enjoyed a Terminator movie in a long time.
Yep. There's this banner here on IMDb from Mike Ryan from Uprocks. There's a quote here that says, "The best Terminator film since Terminator 2 Judgment Day." I agree.
Yeah, I agree
think
too.
that's a solid, correct statement right there. And yeah, I mean, it's
Who knew it needed Linda Hamilton?
I mean, anyone who saw the one with Emilia Clarke was getting an inkling that it needed Linda Hamilton.
Yeah, I think ultimately what it really needed is
a good
involvement.
director.
Well, it needed the involvement of James Cameron.
Yeah. Yes, hard yes on that.
So being involved in 50% of the Terminator movies, and 50% of the Terminator movies are considered good now.
Yeah. And
although I don't think 3 was as bad as a lot of people said. It's not a great movie, but I still kind of liked 3 okay.
Yeah.
But this is a better movie.
I mean, this is also directed by Tim Miller.
It's true.
Which, you would, you hear, it's directed by Tim Miller, you would kind of expect a little more comedy in it. But no, it was just a solid action movie. Arnold is back. It's not a spoiler, that's in the trailers. And he's great as an old T-800. It's got this Mackenzie Davis, also really great. And yeah, I mean, it's just cool fight scenes with the Terminator. The Terminator has... One thing that I like is the Terminator has an established set of rules that it follows throughout the movie. You about 10 minutes after he shows up, you now know all of his capabilities.
And you never see anything new.
And there's never any point where where'd that come from? Why wouldn't he use that? Why wouldn't he have used that earlier? You never have an issue like that.
Yeah, he's using the same tricks throughout the movie.
Yeah. And one thing I did like too is that he takes on a male disguise for the movie, but he can change his appearance kind of like the one in 2.
Yeah, T-1000.
The T-1000. And
he's kind of like the one from 3 where there's an endoskeleton with a
nanomachine
colony surrounding it, but he can split it into 2. You see it in the banner that we're looking at here.
Yeah.
So he can split it off, and so you can be fighting the endoskeleton and the nanomachine colony.
Yeah, and
simultaneously.
One thing I liked about that is it definitely seems like the two halves are independently significantly less capable of than when they're together. But there are just times when it's helpful for him to have 2.
Well, because there's a large group of people they're fighting, so he needs to separate them so they'll split off.
Yeah. But yeah, that was... I mean, this is just a solid movie. the Terminator has his established rules that he can follow. It keeps all of the established rules of the Terminator franchise. No, like, suddenly we can build a time machine to go forward in time.
Yeah, none of that.
And yeah, I mean, it's Terminator. There's a lot of time travel, obviously. So, you could tell since Linda Hamilton's in this that Terminator 3 didn't happen.
Right. She's dead in that.
Yeah, and I don't think it's much of a spoiler, but there is something that happens in the movie where it makes you realize that Terminator
Genesis? Or
the one that
Salvation?
Salvation, yeah, didn't happen.
Well, also Genesis didn't happen.
Yeah, also Genesis didn't happen. But and that's because each time they prevent the Terminator from killing whoever the target happens to be in a given movie, and like prevent Cyberdyne from going forward with their plans, like it pushes Judgment Day back another decade. So each time, yeah, the timeline gets a little different, but I think this is the first time that like it's just been like, yeah, those movies now didn't happen because of this timeline.
Well, James Cameron said that this movie is a direct sequel to 2.
It is.
Yeah.
So it's not just. So
it ignores. It either ignores the other movies, or it maybe plays around with time travel and just is like, okay, maybe those could have happened in a different timeline, but whatever events that have, they've sent so and so back to make whatever happen, this is this timeline.
Right.
That could be the excuse, I guess. With time travel, who knows? They can make all kinds of stuff the excuse for that sort of thing. But this movie is the direct sequel to Terminator 2: Judgment Day.
Right. But yeah, it's just a really solid Terminator movie. It's even got a few like particularly campy one-liners in there.
Yeah. And Linda Hamilton is a badass.
She's a badass, but she also comes off as like insane.
Yeah. A little bit.
Like the way she the faces she makes when talking to some of the characters is just like what is she doing with her face muscles?
Yeah. So right now it's got a 6.6 on IMDb. I think that's a little low.
I think it deserves a 7.5.
Yeah, around at least that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a good movie. Definitely recommend you see it. If you're at all a fan of the Terminator franchise, you'll enjoy this movie, I think. Arnold likes it.
Yeah. Arnold's daughter liked it.
Yep.
And Chris Pratt.
Well, I mean, Chris Pratt has to like what Arnold's daughter likes, right?
Yeah. I think
Especially when it
anything
comes
else,
from her
I think
dad.
he especially needs to like what Arnold likes.
Yeah, probably.
But
But yeah, it's definitely recommend you see this. This is definitely a movie that's worth seeing on a big screen too.
yeah, there's some really cool effects and big set pieces.
And just some really cool fight scenes. A lot of cool gun shooting, and even a law landing a tank weapon. Which also not a spoiler. It's in the trailer.
Yeah.
Trailers. Anything that's in a trailer, is free game in a spoiler free review, right?
Yes, I agree.
So, but yeah. So, anything else to say that before the spoiler warning?
Nah.
Oh, go see this movie. So, spoiler warning. Yeah, the thing that you were calling from the get go. About the girl.
Oh.
You were like
that she's the new John Connor.
Yeah, you're like, she's the new John Connor, not the new Sarah Connor.
Yeah,
so
which was Sarah Connor's assumption, but yeah, obviously, well,
because Sarah Connor was assuming that Judgment Day was further off than it was because of what they had accomplished in Terminator 2, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't think it was any sort of ego thing. I think it was more like assuming Judgment Day is still like too far off for this girl to be.
Yeah, and also her personal experience was that first they sent someone after me because I'm the mother of the Savior.
Right.
So they're going to send someone after her because she's the mother of the new Savior. She knows it can't be John because John was finally terminated.
Right, by a T-800.
Shortly after the events of Terminator 2, they're hiding out in like Guatemala or something.
Guatemala.
And a Terminator just walks up to them. They're sitting at a bar on the beach.
Fills his chest full of buckshot.
Kills
from
him,
like 10 feet away.
It just kills him and walks away.
There's not a whole lot of surviving that.
Nope. So John Connor was killed.
But it was after they managed to prevent
Cyberdyne from creating Skynet.
Yeah, so it was a Terminator that was sent back
by Skynet
before they changed the timeline.
Yeah.
So it's just, it basically says that, like, look, that one that you saw, that Terminator you saw before, that was just one of several.
Yeah. So, and what's interesting is that Terminator just is like, well, now what? And he goes off and he lives a life as a human for the next 20 years.
Yep.
And he's living as a human under the name Carl. And he runs a draper. He runs a drapery business. He puts drapes up in houses. And there's this moment that's really funny where he's talking about, he says, so this one client wanted to put solid colors in a little girl's room. I was like, no, don't do it.
Yeah, this is
she should have butterflies. It's very forceful Arnold Schwarzenegger delivery. Don't do it. She should have butterflies or polka dots.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is one of those actors that everyone has an impression of, right?
Yeah.
Like Sean Connery.
Yeah. But
no,
it's funny. But anyway, so yeah, I knew that this. Well, it seemed obvious to me from the get-go, especially because the flashback that Grace, as the woman who's the cyborg sent from the future to protect the girl, and she has a flashback scene during the war before she's sent back. And she's trying to save the life of the commander. They never named the commander, but you can tell, like, the commander's like in this like life-preserving box thing, and you can tell it's a woman, and she looks like the girl. So I was like, well, that's got to be her, and that's got to be the girl. It's not going to be, the daughter of the girl,
right? But yeah, I mean, was that the only like reveal in the movie?
Yeah, well, one thing. So the thing with Arnold, he's in the movie, and so since he went off to live as a human, he became more human. Like, he developed more human-like emotions. Because I guess the idea being is that as an infiltrator, the Terminators would adapt to life amongst humans, and over time they would gain more human-like emotions or be able to display those or whatever. They would adapt better. And so he's living, with this woman and her son that he's adopted as his own son, and they show up, and he actually feels bad for killing John Connor. So he's been like periodically sending messages to Sarah Connor to tell her like when a Terminator arrives so she can go destroy it.
Yep.
And she doesn't even know that until they show up, and there he is.
Which implies that she's been like inadvertently protecting this girl for a long time, because I mean, she has to be the next target, right?
Well, maybe one of those first ones was going after the girl's mother already.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, now that I think about it.
Maybe that was its job, and then Sarah Connor destroyed it before that even happened. Because and it's no longer Skynet; it's a different system with the same purpose.
It's called Legion.
Yeah, it's called Legion. So after Skynet was destroyed in Terminator 2, the government went ahead with a different program with the same purpose that ultimately led to the same future, or very similar future.
Yep.
And it was called Legion.
So yeah, it's a solid Terminator movie. I think we really only had one complaint about it.
Yes, I have one complaint, and it's a writing thing, and I don't know why they didn't go with this, but at one point they decide, well, we can destroy the Terminator with an EMP. So where do we get an EMP? Sarah Connor's like, well, I have a contact in Air Force Intelligence. There's this major. And so they contact him, and he shows up, and he's this black guy, and I was assuming until we saw that his name was not Dyson, I assumed it should have been the son of Miles Dyson, which would have explained how she knows him, why he's willing to help her,
right,
and all that.
Rather than just
unless
Deus Ex Machina.
Let me know if I'm unaware. Was there any point where they said that he changed his name to Davids or whatever? I think his name was like Davis, Davids or Davis, or something like that.
Something like that.
Unless that is the son of Miles Dyson and he's changed his name. If there's anything that points to that anywhere, let me know. But I'm unaware of it.
Yeah, because it just feels very Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Oh, I know a guy. They didn't end up using the EMP devices anyway, so it's kind of a moot point. Except that it got them access.
The whole point was to get them access to an airplane.
Yeah. So from a story perspective, yeah, the whole point was to get them onto an airplane so they could do a cool Mission Impossible-esque fight scene in an airplane.
Yep, and then drop a Humvee.
Not a Humdrum V.
Nope. From that airplane and parachute it onto a dam.
Yeah, hell of a shot to land that. Like, how lucky is that to land that Humvee on that dam?
Pretty lucky. Although they only caught the edge, so it was tottering over.
Yeah, but still. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I have to say about the movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yep, go check it out. It deserves to be seen on a big screen. So yeah, so our upcoming movies, boy howdy, there's a lot of them. Midway, we're seeing Honey Boy.
Maybe.
Ford v Ferrari. The Good Liar. Frozen 2. I have basically no opinion on at this time, but we're gonna see it.
Frozen 2, Arctic Boogaloo.
We're definitely not seeing A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood because Mr. Rogers means nothing to either of us.
Sorry, I didn't grow up with him.
Nope.
I have no qualms with the movie.
Yeah, no qualms
or the man.
No qualms with the man or the movie.
Wonderful man, I respect him, but
I just don't give a crap.
I would be sitting there is this important to? I don't know. I
wasn't part of that.
Wasn't a Mr. Rogers viewer.
Nope. Knives Out though looks really good. What's the next one after that? Jumanji 2? Or not Jumanji 2, but the sequel to the
technically Jumanji
reboot?
3, but they're calling it Jumanji 2.
Well, no, they're calling it Jumanji The Next Level.
Oh.
They're not calling it Jumanji 2.
Some poster I saw said Jumanji 2. Maybe an early on.
Maybe.
I'm wait a minute. We can't dismiss Jumanji, the original Jumanji movie.
Right. Especially because, it exists in the canon.
Right, and then for some reason, people my age love that movie. I don't understand how anyone... I'm sorry, that's a horrible movie.
But that remake that they did, we did a review on that, right?
Yes, we did. I liked that movie.
It was an enjoyable movie, so pretty excited.
I'm sorry, the Robin
sequel.
Williams Jumanji was a terrible movie.
Yep.
I did not like that movie.
Opinions on Zathura?
I liked Zathura.
I don't think I ever saw it. But anyway, so we're also going to see Richard Jewell. Looks really good, but it looks like we're just going to be angry.
Probably.
Uncut Gems is the first time in my life I could say I'm actually excited to see an Adam Sandler movie. I'm not excited, but like I have a desire to see an Adam Sandler movie. I wasn't even a big fan of Waterboy, and like everything he's been in since then has not been.
Yeah, that's true.
We got Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. Obviously, we're gonna see that. Already got tickets. I got tickets to 2 different showings. 1917.
In case one doesn't pan out.
Yeah, yeah. What if the band cancels?
Yeah,
gotta get tickets in different cities in case the band cancels one of them. We got 1917 finishing out the year. That movie looks really cool. I'm so excited seeing World War I getting attention. The last couple of years, it seems like it's definitely been getting more movies and such set in World War I.
Speaking of which, for anyone interested, they're re-releasing They Shall Not Grow Old.
Yeah, which if you have the opportunity to see that, do. It's incredible. And if they're, I think they're doing the like short
featurette at the
end. It's not short, but a featurette at the end where they talk about how they,
because the documentary is about 90 minutes and then the featurette's about half an hour.
Yeah,
so you're there for a total of 2 hours.
And they talk at the end about
like what they went through to reproduce all that.
Yeah, what they went through to colorize it, even, and talking about like having examples of World War I uniforms, so they knew how to, what color.
They went to that region of France to take photographs of the grass so they could get the right color of grass.
Yeah.
How insane is that? It wasn't. They didn't make a special chip. Peter Jackson was already in the area, and he's like, "I'm gonna go do this."
He was there on a family vacation, and he's like, "Hey, kids,
yeah,
Daddy's got work to do."
They went and they figured out based on what units these guys were in, what accents they would have, so they could get the right like actors to voice them.
Yeah,
because they added and they got specialists, like lip reading specialists, to figure out what they were saying.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So they could, because there's obviously no audio. This is 1917 when they're like making these films. There's no audio to go with them. And
the most amazing thing about all of that is Peter Jackson does not profit off of that movie.
No, this was like a labor of love, and it was done for some museum in London, right?
Yes.
It took them like 3 years to do it or something.
Well, yeah, but
they did it in anticipation for.
They did it intending to make it for the anniversary of the end of the war.
Yes.
So, and they got it done in time for that. But yeah, if you have the opportunity, we didn't review it because it's not.
It was a limited release. It was like a one-night thing.
Yeah, and it's not really. It feels weird to review a documentary like that.
I suppose if it had a broad release and it wasn't just like a one-night thing, I would say we should have. But it's like, what's the point of our review if you hadn't seen it, you're not gonna until it's on Blu-ray or whatever.
Yeah, if you have the opportunity to see that, do so. It was incredible. So, but yeah, so that's what we got through the end of the year. We do a lot of movie reviews, so go check out some of our other ones. Our last one was Motherless Brooklyn. We saw 3 movies this weekend. A lot of weekends through the end of the year are multiple movie weekends.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And what's our next one? Is going to be Midway, probably?
I think so.
Probably Midway. It's that or Honey Boy next weekend. So, well, and that review is going to be a little late anyway for Midway.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anything else to add to that?
Nope. Not other than I'll be back.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Hasta la vista, baby. No one ever actually said that. I don't know why that was like written into that movie, like it was like slang for the time. No one talked that way.
What, the hasta la vista?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, The movie was set in 1997, but it came out a lot earlier than that. So maybe it was like, yeah, in the future, maybe this will be slang.
Like Shui,
Yeah,
Batman Beyond.
sure.
But anyway, so until next time, thanks for listening.
Bye.
Toodles.